What the heck? How's my hair?
Very funny. Let's do it. Why are you using that?
Well, I haven't poured it yet, and you're just rushing me because I had to sort the camera out.
I'm back, you guys. We're a little late. Sorry we're late. I'm all washed out from that light again.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We're here. That's what matters.
That's what matters. Good morning, humanity. Who do you think it is that's watching first, Lori or?
I don't know. Lori.
Oh, it's Lori. I am feeling much better, thank you. It took a few days. I will admit, it really kicked my ass this time.
A couple days of sleeping, a few days of not sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go 2 months without a seizure. Body's gonna come back and go, okay, I'm gonna let you know I'm the boss.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Too much fun.
Too much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better. Look at that.
That's better. We're more even.
Look at that, like
Shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are.
Here we are.
With bells on.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for another rousing episode of Coffee Time.
Rousing. Okay. All righty then.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Lori. That's very nice of you.
Yes.
Yes. It's nice to know people care.
Mm-hmm.
It's always nice to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it was a interesting week, shall we say.
Was it?
It was. Interesting week.
I'm still recovering. I'm still half asleep, but what was interesting about it?
No, it was just like you want to get into a bit of a routine and things, you know,
Yeah.
just sort of, but you know what?
Life comes and
guess what life says?
bite you in the ass and
Life says
no.
max flex.
Yeah.
That's what
It really does, actually.
Max flex.
It does.
And if you're not,
then you'll
Right.
be hard-assed and you'll be all upset all the time over every little thing going wrong, and which we don't tend to be, but
yeah, it's very interesting because if you're not flexible, you end up breaking.
that's what happens, you
Because
guys.
rigid structures end up breaking in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone has ever seen, and this is like structure too, like years ago, it was the 60s or 70s.
This feels like this needs to be down a little more. Am I wrong?
Shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, there was a video, and you could probably find it online, actually,
Probably.
on YouTube, about the Tuscoma Narrows Bridge. Yeah, it's very interesting because
That's a mouthful.
as an engineer or someone that has studied structures and stuff like that, you get to learn how this stuff works, I guess, in 3D reality. So they had this bridge, and oh, thanks, Lori. We appreciate that a lot. Yeah, we really do. And yeah, this week too, and it's still going on. There's some massive energies coming in on
Whoop, whoop.
massive
Keep
energies.
up that good power, Lori.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep sharing the love.
So anyway, this particular bridge, and knowing structures and stuff, when you design things, people have most likely seen bridges, you know, trusses and stuff, like these triangular structures and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about this bridge was that it was there. It was just there. But everything in life and nature has a natural resonance to it. There's an actual specific frequency that things will what does Bruce Lipton says? It's an antagonistic energy and protagonistic energy. So one is
To be technical.
One is in complements to the energy.
Yeah.
One is against the energy. All right. So there's two dichotomy. There's a dichotomy there.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about this particular bridge, and you look at the footage and it's like, holy shit. The wind on this particular day was at such it was at a precise direction and a precise speed that it caused the bridge to start to resonate. And what it did was the bridge deck, everything started to do this. And then it collapsed because the structure was rigid and it shouldn't be doing. There's some flex built into things, right? Steel structures and whatnot. But for it to do that is crazy. But everything has a resonance, and when you bring the resonance together, this is bringing things into coherence. It amplifies the combined resonance. So this ties into the idea of the secret, because when you're resonating at the level of attraction and compassion and love, and that's, you're going to get more of that.
Yep.
Right. So that's an interesting lead in, and it just sort of happened.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning that. I didn't dream about it. No. But
good job, dear.
no, but it ties directly into what our topic is today, because we've decided to sort of make a shift in our subject matter, shall I say, because, you know, up to now we've kind of been
all over the map.
Well, it's just whatever happens, right? And that's kind of the way sometimes our conversations just go anyway.
Yeah.
But we've decided that it needs to be a little bit more of a shift in focus, because while we can sit around, and I mentioned this before because of that talk we did on that Wednesday night, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, that everybody's all really good at coming up what they don't want and what they dislike about this or that or the system, or, you know, fill in the blanks. What do you need?
I was just wondering where my glasses were, but I'm okay for now. I'm okay. I'm not too close.
Which glasses?
My reading glasses, but it's okay. I'm not too close to the screen. I can read it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll survive.
So yeah, so it's everyone is hyper attuned and aware of what they don't want.
Yeah.
And you know what's wrong in society.
Sure.
And what's wrong in their lives, and what's wrong with you know the people around them, or fill in the blank. Yeah. So
socks are coming
off.
Socks
are coming off. Let's leave them under this table here.
Yeah. I have a tendency of just kind of pulling my socks off with my feet, and then they sometimes get left.
The socks just
under
stay
the
there
table
for a couple of days.
Kevin, I'm a almost 50-year-old woman, so
okay.
My body is going through some changes. So sometimes I'm hot, sometimes I'm cold. That's just the way it is. I'm sure Lori understands. Socks suck. I know. I prefer to be barefoot. I truly do. I probably should be living in a warmer climate, but I do prefer to be barefoot all the time.
Everything has its place, of course. When it's minus 40 out and you have to walk in boots and stuff.
Then you might want
socks
to
are pretty
socks.
cool.
Yeah, socks come in handy. They come in handy. They're handy.
No, they're footy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anywho's, continue on there, darling.
Well, so I was gonna actually on Tuesday, because we apologize for not getting the sound sorted out. It was me on my lonesome.
Yeah.
Trying to figure this tech out, even though I'm doing video editing.
What are you saying, that you're used to your wife doing such things?
Well, normally
I come in handy once in a while.
Well, but what I was going to do on Tuesday was to actually leave people that were going to watch, even though it might have been a short thing.
And just you.
And just me.
Not quite the same.
Just me.
Without me. Morning, Marianne.
I was going to leave people with a little bit of food for thought, I guess. And I wanted to encourage people to start thinking about what they want instead. The people that are most likely listening to this podcast are quite aware of the shenanigans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why they're here.
And it's morning, Marianne. Glad to see you here again. Sorry for Tuesday, but
No, but Lori's saying it was StreamYard. Most people didn't have sound on their lives that morning.
Really?
So it wasn't a Kevin problem. Kevin can put that off on StreamYard. It's all StreamYard's fault. Damn it.
It's their fault. Which actually lends itself nicely to our discussion today.
Kind of. Yeah, it does.
So, because we know what we don't want and what's wrong with everything, the next logical question would be, what do we want instead?
And what's right?
And what's right?
Hmm.
And when we ask you guys, do you have a vision for the future? Like, do you actually have a vision? Is there something that you can...
Have you made a vision for the
Have you
future in
actually
your mind?
gone through the process of envisioning what you would consider an acceptable or beautiful future? Because most people haven't.
Because we want to know if you have. Tell us.
They haven't, honestly haven't.
No.
And this is part of the issue.
It is part of the issue. When you don't have a vision to focus on, how can you focus on it? Right? So I think
how can you attract that which you are unsure of what you want?
Yeah. If you're kind of like all over the place, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, not really sure.
Well, I know what I don't want, right? But what you don't want doesn't necessarily mean you want the opposite of.
That's right. And just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right. But the other interesting thing about this is that the idea of a vision, I know, I need some trimming.
What? You just got trimmed.
No, I know, but there's some, the strays.
Scragglies.
But the thing is that when you have just because you know what you don't want, we right now, I do believe, in human history, are in a position of being able to create something new.
Probably something that's never been done before.
Because some people, they think about what is wrong with the system, and they typically will instantly shift into how can we fix the system. Well, I'm sure most people that are on this podcast and will be listening to it later will probably agree that shit's broken, folks. It's like broken. And we know that it's designed to serve the few at the expense of the many. So
it's a very easy way to describe it, actually.
And that's just the way it is. And it's designed perfectly if you're one of the few.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
I agree, Ronnie.
But we have to just allow that.
It's just happening anyway.
Happening naturally.
We don't have to do shit for it to happen. It's just happening.
The difference here is that we are now in a position, and we had this conversation with my father last night.
Poor Ray.
Because some people get stuck in the idea of, well, if just the leader can. If the leader can, what if the leader could change their minds? What if they did change their minds?
His heart's in the right place. It really is. Like he tries. The poor man, he tries so hard.
Yeah.
Good morning, Louise.
So the thing is that when we get above that and realize that they're all part of the shenanigan system.
Nice, Kevin.
Well, I mean, call it what you want, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Would it be great? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we know that the system is designed to maintain control of these people.
Yeah.
So while it's noble to want to, think or feel or envision or dream that if only the leaders, I want you to stop right there. Because this goes back to my alien question.
Yeah.
This goes right back to the alien question of take me to your leader.
They're not my leaders.
I don't consider these people leaders.
No.
At all.
They're overpaid actors with no moral compass.
And incidentally enough,
no conscience.
We watch iconic media. So we take in some of those.
Highly
programs.
recommend it, by the way.
It's pretty good.
It is good.
Anyway, this last week, or this last weekend, Gareth and Richard did a what half. And that means a what? The actual half. That's their podcast. And it's kind of neat because what they do is that they look throughout the week for interesting or, curious or hilarious news articles from around the planet. And it's just like, what are these people doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a news article, and it's very interesting because I've said this here before about I wouldn't be surprised for a second because we know that politics is a drama theater for the little people.
Yeah.
And that
don't they call it theater for the ugly people?
No, it's Hollywood for the ugly
Hollywood people. For the ugly people.
Yeah. Unless you're JT. I mean, the Sox just do it, right?
Hopefully.
But
Jeez.
I've said several times, and that is that I would not doubt for a second that if these people going into play the role of premier or MPP or whatever it is going into the House of Parliament or Commons, whatever you want to call it, get given a script, right? Either the day of, and they have to read it really quickly, or the night before and say, these are your lines for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Speaker, the honorable member, blah, 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 blah.
Awesome, Ronnie. Good for you. We're
Yeah.
working on justice for children in BC.
Excellent.
We have a group landing page and massive action to come. Good.
On.
Share it in here if you want in
Yeah,
the comments.
please.
Yeah, if you have a link already, that is. Otherwise, keep us posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've said this before. I wouldn't be surprised if that is in fact the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Gareth.
It's all scripts. That's all it is.
Gareth brings up this article where I want to say a politician or advisor to Boris Johnson, I do believe,
I think it was, yeah.
in England,
Yeah.
was basically coming out and saying the whole thing is fake. Every bit of it is fake, and it's just a drama playing out with scripts and characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just a matter of time before that got revealed.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting.
It was interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Well,
to
it
do
was
that.
confirming,
Confirming, of
even
course.
though we don't need the confirmation
No.
because we know that that's the truth.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, total shenanigans. Yeah. So
But knowing all of that, that's just a big so what. The issue comes here is that we, the people, have to create something new. So we've been focused on creating something new and a place for people to continue to create something new. And those are our visions. Those are our visions that we meditate on, and we see them, feel them, and but here's the thing, Lori, is that it's not about enough people. And yes, I do agree. There's power in numbers, 100%.
absolutely.
But the square root of 1%.
Got to remember that. Got to remember your
Remember
math, Lori.
We got to remember our math.
math.
The square root of 1%. So if Canada's 37 million,
There it
excellent.
is.
Say bckids.ca. Perfect.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Thank you, Ronnie.
The square root of 1% of 37 million is 608.
That's it.
So I'm going to bet.
We have that many people watch the show every week.
I'm going to bet
More than that, actually.
that if 608, well, let's just say 1,000 for safety's sake.
Yeah.
If 1,000 people in Canada got together and envisioned a new Canada, envisioned, embodied, and actually intentionally meditated on that vision
Yeah.
every day,
It would make a big difference.
guess what?
It really would. It really
Because
would.
that's been scientifically proven, and this is what they don't want.
No.
They
No.
need to keep us divided in that way.
Yeah, they don't want us coming together on an issue and teaming up, you
Couldn't have
know?
that. So and that's
There's
kind
power
of
in numbers.
right, and that's Yeah, rumors for sure.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we've been amongst the
Yeah.
med beds thing. I think there's power because it's all frequencies,
It's all
right?
frequency.
It's all frequency. I just want us to, I just want humans to not lose focus on the fact that we are the technology, right? Yes, devices help absolutely, especially if we're not quite at that
we're not quite
at
there.
that there yet.
And
I mean,
why
and
not
that's-
enjoy technology
Yeah,
in a positive
take
way?
advantage of it. It's there. It's already available to us. So I mean, yes, we should be able to maximize it, really.
Mhm.
So med beds, other frequency devices, there's lots of light therapies now, which by the way, where is my red light therapy? It's
There
over
it is, over
there.
there.
Gerald didn't set me up this morning. I'll have to do it after. But I mean,
Well, yeah, we got to get that knee sorted out because we got to go see the cats today.
yeah, but I don't think I can climb those
You can, absolutely.
4 levels. You think so, do you?
Believe it, dear.
It's going to take me a real long time. It's
Oh.
going to be slow going.
We'll have time.
All right. I get to go see the kitties today.
Yeah. I got a friend that's watching the cats for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I agree with you, Marianne. I think that AI is just it's an inert subject or object just sort of sitting there, and it's who gets behind it. That's the problem. Who's in control of it? That's the problem. So, I mean, we have a lot to consider with this new futuristic technology
people
on the planet.
You wonderful folks are starting to share with us what you don't want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's great because we can all sit down and make a list that's probably as tall as I am.
Yeah.
All right. The challenge here is what's instead.
Yeah.
What do you want instead?
Well, Lori has there. You have to start with enough to help spread the light for more to feel comfortable enough to shift.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
this comes into having a vision first, because the vision has to come first.
Yeah.
And it has to be felt and it has to be embodied first.
Yeah.
So this isn't about sitting around waiting for someone else to do it.
I decided
sitting around waiting. We have to do it.
We do. I decided I'm not going to fear AI. I'm not going to fear technology.
Just a tool, man.
It's just there. And I decided, no, I'm going to see the best in it. And I'm going to, and I'm going to take advantage of it myself. Right. And use it for the higher good of other people.
I've used it. Absolutely. And,
yeah.
There are definite use cases where it makes a lot of sense be able to streamline things.
Listen, ChatGPT has a place. I don't care what anybody says, but it has a place. I mean, because I am when it comes to me editing content, it's very difficult because, and I am challenged with it. I admit it, because Kevin says I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, but I mean, ChatGPT, I can just put my parameters in there and it takes something that I've already created and it just zing, like it just instantly, it changes it up and just enough that you just go, okay, yes, that's it.
But then you feed it something that you've created, right? It adjusts and then you adjust again. Right. So at the end of the day, you're still in the picture. You're still in the mix.
Yeah.
And
it's almost like having an editing team, really.
Kinda, yeah.
It's kind of neat. I love it. I had to embrace it, guys, because I resisted it for a long, long time. And that resistance has not gotten us where we need to be with everything that we have to offer. So, I mean, we just needed to embrace it. And that's what we're doing. So the universe gives you what you focus on or think, energy in motion flow. Yeah, that's right. I have lived without technology and I'm okay and doing it again. Yeah, well, I mean, good point, right?
See, the thing is, it's I guess for me, it
doesn't have to be either or.
No, and it doesn't have to be either or.
No.
The thing is whether or not, because we give those things meaning. It's like the use of language.
Yeah.
See the intention behind it. And I've used this analogy before.
Yeah.
You take a firearm and let's just say it's an Uzi submachine gun or something like that. And you load it and you actually chamber around with the safety off and you stick it on your kitchen table. Actually, no, better yet, you go to the busiest busiest mall in your area, and you put a little table in the middle of the courtyard or whatever, the food court, and you put that firearm on it and just let it sit there.
It's not going to do shit
Let it sit there.
until someone else picks it
That
up.
is a thing.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Right? And in this particular case, it's just a metaphor. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
And that thing can sit there forever.
And never do
millions
harm.
of years.
Never do harm.
And never do harm.
Yeah.
Right? So now,
because
if
there
anyone-
was talk recently, was there not, about confiscating more guns in Canada? Kevin's not happy. But I mean, we need to realize
it's the
that.
tiptoe to totalitarianism.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
this
and
is
that's
all part
one
of
of
the
the
plan.
first main things is the censorship and gun removal.
Yeah.
Right, that all communist dictators love.
So Canada's deep
So-
in it for sure now.
Yeah, we're actually balls deep in it.
We're
right now.
we're really deep in it. Yeah, that's right. It's who's in control of it.
Exactly.
You know. Yeah, absolutely.
This wonderful government of ours is thinking that they want to ban more firearms, and guess what? You're going to take firearms from Canada that have never been used in combat. They might look mean,
Yeah.
and they might have been originally designed as a combat firearm,
Or they were used in movies.
Yeah,
Right?
whatever.
So yeah, whatever.
but all they've ever done in the hands of a law-abiding Canadian gun owner is to shoot targets.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
You can't hunt with them. You just go to the range and shoot
Mhm.
targets with it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take these firearms that have never harmed anything other than a piece of paper,
Hmm.
and you're going to ship them over to Ukraine to become weapons of war.
Criminal.
Give
They're
your
going to become
fucking heads a shake.
weapons
people.
of crime. That's what they are. It's
Give
all
your
crime.
heads a shake.
Like how
can
can anybody think this is a good idea? Like I
This is
really
the
do hope
stupidest-
Canadians go like this, like the big like finger up, and no,
This is the
this is not
stupidest
happening.
shit on the planet.
Yeah.
Like
This is dumb.
absolutely the stupidest shit ever.
Mm-hmm. Obsoletes,
The obsolete,
Marianne. You
yes,
forgot
please,
the OB.
please.
Put the OB on front of
OBS.
that. OBS. Sorry,
Obsoletes.
obsoletes.
No, because that's what they are.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a big scramble. You watch, there's going to be a big scramble within the political whatever shenanigan
Yeah.
shit going on here.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's not about going to PC. Like it's not about
No, it's not
going
about
to
that.
the other side.
but they're going to
progressive
be
conservatives.
struggling to remain relevant.
Yeah,
I firmly believe that.
it's true,
because-
Marianne. You can't make that shit up.
No, you
It's
can't.
so stupid. You
Such
just
stupid
and the
shit.
more ridiculous it gets, I don't know if you guys notice this, but the more ridiculous it gets, you just go, what? Like seriously? Did they seriously just say that?
No, but they
It's like-
legalized marijuana, so now they're smoking some serious shit.
Totally. Like
Anyway,
oh,
all of that
anyway.
aside,
All that aside,
what do we actually want instead?
what do we want instead? This is it. This
so
is the question.
this is going to be
Yeah.
the nature of our discussions from here on out,
Hmm.
right? Because while we could sit and rant forever,
Yeah,
right, as most people can,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I don't believe a politician will say that they are not saviors. Then this is the whole discussion about trying to fix a system that was not designed to be fixed.
That's right.
Right?
It's
It's
doing
not designed-
exactly
doing
what it's
exactly
supposed
what
to
it's supposed to
do. It's perfect just the way it is.
That's right.
They're all feathers from the same shit bird. I have no confidence in any of those parasites. It's true.
100%.
And like even Kevin's dad asked the question last night. Well, what about if the politicians do make a change? It's like, well, first of all,
How
you have to
often?
believe that they
I'm gonna-
actually
I'm going to first ask, how often have people told people what they think they want to hear,
just to get in or
just to get in, get the vote,
appease people or whatever.
and then the bait and switch. If
Totally.
a politician wants to bait and switch the deep state, by
Yeah.
all means,
Yeah,
fucking go for it.
I would love to see that happen, and I think that'd be awesome.
Go for it.
Yeah, we keep waiting for something like that to happen. Like we think that would be an interesting turn of events. But the reality is we don't need the
We-
government the way that it is.
We
Those pot shops, yep.
need to create
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah.
right? And this is
The pot shops in BC were way better, Marianne, before the government got their dirty hands involved. And I was never one to actually be a cannabis user at all until just shortly before it all changed. Yes, bait and promise, and then it is forgotten. That's right. Absolutely. There's
So
no integrity.
here's-
There's a lack of integrity. That's the thing.
okay. So here's our challenge.
Here is our challenge.
And this is the challenge that we're going to be focusing on.
yes.
We're going to be focusing.
We might get a little derailed here and there, but we're going to pull ourselves back.
We're
to
going
center.
to continue from this moment forward to focus on what we want and the future that we actually want, because I have to think about my grandkids.
If we ever have grandkids,
Okay.
this thing.
That's where my focus is, and that's what motivates me, because I'm not leaving this fucking shit show,
No.
right, to any future generation to try and dig themselves out of.
No.
This
It's
is
not
for
fair.
us. The buck is stopping here.
Yeah, because it's happening on our watch.
That's right. It's stopping here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we need to pull together, all of us. So the challenge now for us and our viewers, and please, I want to get a sense of whether or not people are open to actually doing a live webinar with as many people as possible.
Oh yeah, we talked about that last time.
As
didn't we?
many people as possible to be on
See,
this
Marianne,
one
that's a
webinar.
great things to focus on. Do
Yes.
this for my 8 grandkids. Absolutely. It's not just about us. We have less lives ahead of us as behind us, most likely.
Hey, no, settle down. We're
Well,
designed the last 900 years.
This
so
is true, but I mean,
look
you
out.
know what I mean with everything against us. But I mean, still. So really, we have to look to future generations that this is what we're doing this for, you know?
So we're going to put this era of the great poisoning
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah,
We're going to do something different,
let's change it.
and we're going to create something new.
Yeah, let's do it
So
different.
who would be open to doing a webinar, maybe on a weekly basis? I'm going to say this because if we're going to be going down,
Heaven.
well, no, this is urgent.
It is
It's
urgent.
fucking urgent.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm feeling the urgency. They
Yeah.
are the future. That's right.
so
That's a song, isn't it, Marianne? I believe the children are future. Teach them well. That's a Whitney Houston song.
is it?
Let them lead the way. Yeah.
So if we pull our coffee times down to once a week,
I thought you were going to say pull our fingers out of our asses.
no, we don't need to do that.
No, we don't need
No,
to do
there's other
that.
people that need to do that for sure,
Yeah,
without
for
question.
sure. Yeah.
Right?
We're doing
And it's
something.
no judgment for your people that have your finger up your ass. Not one bit.
Just
If you want,
very quietly remove it.
maybe smell,
We're t-
make sure things are working.
Yeah, man. That's terrible.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh. Gee. Anywho's.
Well, unless it's your head that's up your ass. That's
Well,
different. Then
that
you
could
probably
be a
smell it.
problem.
So who would be interested? Please, I want to know
Yeah.
what the feeling is, the sense of it is that if we do a weekly webinar,
Just put yes in the comments. That's what we
yeah,
need.
if we do a
I
weekly
know, right?
webinar,
I know, Lori. It's
and
just
we'll
like-
figure out the best time that works. It might be the weekend, where we actually come together and we chat about what we want instead, and let's create the new future,
So how's that different than from us doing this podcast?
because we need more interactions. It has to be on Zoom,
Yeah, we
Right.
need to see you guys.
right?
We want to
wanna
hear
see
you guys.
We want to hear you guys.
We want to give you guys an actual voice. We want to give
Yeah.
you a platform. You have your voice. We just want to give you a platform so that you can express.
So let's do it.
It's
Who's
so
who's
important
in?
because
Anybody in?
listen, anytime we've worked with people, the one thing that everybody is seeking is they need an opportunity to express how they feel.
Right.
Too many people are suppressed, right? Repressed, suppressed, don't feel like they can speak openly either with certain family members or, their bosses or whatever it might be. And usually when they're sitting in front of us, they feel better just by letting it all out, So we know how important it is.
So here's the thing. We need
Yeah.
to bring together people that are already at a certain stage in development, in their evolution.
Yeah, and if you're here, you're at a certain level.
And I'm going to bet that you're
already-
probably, if you're listening to this, for sure.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you're already at a certain stage of
You're there.
development, or you wouldn't be listening to this.
Right. or you'd be ripping about the use of the word understand or something like
Yeah.
that. So we need to move beyond.
So Marianne says those that need to be reached. We're not even putting anything on the screen today, Kevin. What's wrong with us today?
It's your department.
Well, jeepers. Like, I'm a little slow. I'm just getting back into the swing of things here.
So if we can do a webinar.
We have all been MK Ultra to a point.
Yeah, if we can do a webinar
yes,
once a week
that would be so powerful.
to bring together a vision of the future.
Well, and that honestly, I don't know if I've already shared this, but that's what my original vision for a podcast was 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, it was to be in front of an audience where the audience could be interacting with us. And it's not about us asking all the questions when we were interviewing people, even. It was about the audience asking the questions. That was my dream. Like, that's what I really, really wanted to do. And it never really transpired.
Oh, I take very good care of her, Lori.
Oh, she takes
knows
very
it.
good care of me. He's a good, listen to me. She takes very good care of me. He's a good
Must
man.
get along here.
I have to admit, Kevin is such a good man. I'm very fortunate. There's a reason that we're together. There's no question about that. It's a big, big reason. But yeah, so I mean,
So who's in?
Who's in? If
And
you're in, put yes in the comments, and then at
we
least
need
we'll
to call
know
it.
that.
We'll call it something. I don't know. World Visionaries or Canada Visionaries or whatever. I don't know.
Global.
Like visionaries. The thing is, we're not the only people doing this.
No.
But we still have to create something new and envision it in order for it to actually end up being reality.
And then what if we brought everyone together that's already doing it on their own? We could bring all these people together, even if it's just, once in a while, right? 10 years ago, I would have thought people needed to be admitted because they were crazy. Not today. I know, because you've grown, you've learned, Marianne, and this is what happens. We learn, we grow, we progress, what we thought was strange 5-10 years ago is what? No, it's just normal. What are you talking about? Right. So, I mean,
so who's in?
Yeah. So who's in? Tell us if you're in with what Kevin is proposing.
Get a message to us regardless. Figure out how we've given you countless ways to connect with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you're watching us over Facebook, then just get a hold of us through Facebook. Keep in mind, those of you who are watching through the Million Charges group, I'm just an admin on that group. So, I mean, it's kind of open to other people as well, which is fine. But it just might be best to reach out to me directly, like Ava Free to Be Me. So go over to my personal page and maybe.
So connect, please let us know. We'll set it up, and we're going to set it up regardless.
We are setting it up. Even if it's only 2 people there, we're going to do it.
That's right.
What I know about our so-called country, if it is even a country, it's very disappointing. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want instead?
Yeah. What do you want instead, Marianne?
Now is the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because sometimes darkness, we have to be in the darkness
to see the light.
To see the light.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's not stay stuck in the disappointed feelings anymore, because that's just keeping us at a lower frequency anyway, right? Which is not serving us or the world, really, as far as I'm concerned.
The universe.
Yeah. So let's get into that higher vibration. And it isn't
about
it being all rainbows and lollipops either. It's about being truthful about things, being realistic. What's a very long list, Marianne?
What's wrong?
Oh.
Or what's right?
Yeah, which one are you focused on in this moment when you say it's a very long list?
Like I said, it's easy for us to say, but, jabba. It's easy for us to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we continue to focus on things that are wrong, that are outside of ourselves, we will never be empowered.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah.
So we're not saying that the challenge of creating what we want instead in a new vision for ourselves, our families, our communities, our provinces, our states, our countries, our world, whatever, is not going to be without a challenge.
Yeah,
it is 100%
for sure.
Right, but we have to start, and a lot of people have been starting.
Yeah,
and they've been starting in little pockets all over the place. So this is part of my goal is to start bringing these pockets together. And what?
Well, I just noticed when your hand's up there, it makes the lighting better. See, it blocks out that
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
a little bit.
whatever.
It's pretty bright.
Either way, maybe we'll bring an umbrella next time.
Yeah, umbrella would work perfect, probably. Yeah.
I'll have this stick right here.
Yeah.
Who cares? It doesn't matter because we're here.
That's right. The
We're here.
people need to stop acting entitled and start participating. I agree.
Okay, so that's what's wrong.
That's
That's
Yep.
what's wrong.
No, that's a positive. We need to move towards people stopping acting entitled and start participating. That's true.
Okay, but just to recognize that people are acting entitled, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But the thing is that we have to feel something different. Okay, but because right now, if we continue to focus on stuff that's outside and stuff that's outside that we cannot physically control,
Mhm.
okay, that's a problem. And it's the weather, it's the weatherman, it's the fill in the blank, it's the roads, the guy didn't clean the sidewalk, it's the,
Mhm.
on and on and on.
We have to be in charge of ourselves.
If you're letting stuff out there dictate how you feel inside, that's the biggest shift that we have to have.
Yeah.
Right? Be entitled to feel something different. That's
Yeah.
what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay? Be entitled to feel something different.
Yeah.
Because you're in charge of creating that.
That's right.
We're the only organism or species on the planet
That we know of.
that we know of, other than in the other dimensions,
Yeah.
that can self-regulate at will the way it has it, the state of being, at will.
Yeah.
Okay? The only ones.
So let's put it to use.
So why not use it?
Let's maximize that bitch. That's what I say.
Damn
Let's
right.
totally maximize that ability. We are so not maximizing the power that we have. Like, we just really are not.
Mhm.
But that's one thing I will say is I think is wrong, is that we are not maximizing the use of the power that each one of us have.
So get into
Hello, Pastor Nasir Masigil. Masigil.
so thanks for being here.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed the conversation so far. If you're just catching up,
We're talking about what's right in the world.
no, what we want instead.
Yeah, we want to
How
focus on what
can
we
we
want.
create how can we create a new way of being?
Mhm.
And it has to start inside first.
With ourselves.
First.
This is why, like, Kevin and I are on this mission. I don't know if you've noticed, but we are. This is the truth. We're on this mission to help to transform the planet. Now, I would say that, we're not these people that think, oh, we're going to change the world. No, we're going to start with each individual and help individuals change what's the world that's going on inside them,
That's where it needs to
because
go.
that's where it needs to start, right? Oh, wow.
Oh, awesome.
Listening
Thanks
from
for being here.
Pakistan.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very
and
much.
God has put 2 words in your mouth that will
Has put
change
words in your mouth.
has
Yes.
put words in your mouth that will change lives. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Pastor.
We believe that.
Yeah,
We totally believe that.
we do believe that. Thank
Because
you so
a lot
much.
of this stuff just flows.
Yeah.
100%. And we need to bring together as many people as possible to see this new vision.
Yes.
And you know what? The cool thing is, it doesn't matter where you are on the planet.
That's right. This mind
The interconnectedness and
is here with us and connected to each of us. We're
yes,
all connected. It doesn't matter what religion we are. It doesn't matter
doesn't
what
matter.
It doesn't matter what color we are. It doesn't
The
matter
question
what
becomes-
language we speak. None
Yeah.
of that matters. It matters, but it
How
doesn't
can
matter.
how can we focus on our similarities? How can we focus on our similarities? Because I'm going to bet, and I've said this before,
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of us are sitting under the same sun, the same night sky. Technically speaking, it's the same atmosphere that we're all breathing, right?
Yeah.
And I would say most of us have brain, lungs, heart, shoulders, arms, legs, And even if you don't, what's important matters. And you have that.
That's right.
So let's focus on our similarities and how we can lift each other up.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do that? And at the same time, we're going to create a new planet, a new Earth, a new way of being.
Yeah.
So let's get a webinar going.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm super stoked for this.
Okay, so
Let's
I need Pastor to tell us what time it is in Pakistan right now.
Yeah, what time do you got there?
Because I think that they're like 12 or 13 hours ahead. Tell us what time it is, Pastor, there right now. Because here it is 11 o'clock in the morning where we are in Canada. Heart and soul for sure. Absolutely, Louise. No question. We invite you to our country to preach the gospel. Oh, dear. Oh, Kevin's mother just smiled so big right now. So big. I think it's probably like 11 or 12 o'clock at night in Pakistan right now.
It's probably close to that. Yeah.
You know what, Pastor? Thank you for that invite. That is very kind of you.
I actually grew up in northern India. So,
yeah, that's home for him.
Yeah, very familiar with that part of the world.
Yes, Kevin is very close to the mountains in India for sure, in Uttarakhand. So, yeah. But we probably won't come preach the gospel, but we'll definitely do the best we can from here. Right? We'll do the best we can from here.
But it's an empowerment thing.
It is an empowerment thing. Preach the gospel, Pastor.
We have to figure out. This isn't just about saying God and source and creator. No. It's not about that. Right? This is about saying, how are we the same?
How are we the same?
And how can we co-create something different? Because we all know what we don't want.
We all have our struggles.
We've all got that.
Yeah, we've all got our personal struggles.
We need to bring people together.
Yeah.
And why can't we? How is it that we cannot create something new? Because what my goal is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 8:57.
Oh, that's decent. That's decent.
So it's 9. So
it's 9 o'clock.
So it's 10 hours ahead.
Yes.
Okay, so you're 10 hours ahead of where we are. We need to know that because if we plan a webinar, we want to try to facilitate as many time zones as we can.
This would actually be a good time.
This would be decent. Mm-hmm. This would be Thank you, Pastor, for that. I appreciate that. Excellent.
Yeah, where was I?
You were talking about, oh dear, Kevin.
You cut me off.
I'm sorry.
I lost a neuron, but it'll come back.
It'll come back. Yeah, it'll come back.
Okay, so let's get this. I'm super stoked to get this webinar going.
Yes.
Like it's urgent and it's critical now.
It is.
This to me is like the 11th hour.
Because they're doing their damnedest to get us into this third world war idea.
And the neat thing is that we've got a lot of celestial energy coming into this planet right now.
There's a lot of frequencies.
A lot of people feeling it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are hyper aware of the increased energy from
my heart's like just my heart's thumping out of my chest. Yeah. How I even got to sleep last night was just sheer exhaustion. Yeah. And the ringing in my head, like the frequencies coming on. This is my number. Oh.
Yeah, Pastor. we can set up a call for sure. Let's do a Zoom call or something. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure. That. Well, let's write that down then. Do we have a pen?
Well, just the best way to connect right now is just send
WhatsApp.
Send if you got a WhatsApp or send we'll do a WhatsApp. Yes.
Yeah, that's
you guys
fine.
have WhatsApp there?
Of course they have WhatsApp.
I know.
Yes. Give me that piece of paper over there. Marjorie won't mind if we use that. Yeah, I can use that. Okay. Pastor, you must be
+92.
Okay, +92.
333
333
81
81
33 694. So we'll connect for sure.
Yep.
Let's do that. Yeah, we'd love to have a chat, but we need to do this webinar. Let's come together. Let's use technology.
Let's use technology
as the tool that it was designed for.
Yes.
To actually create, because here's my goal. This is where I was going. Yeah. Here's my goal. My goal is to have such a mass of people together envisioning something new and then creating it.
Yeah.
That other people that aren't part of that start looking and saying, what's
Going on over there?
What's happening over there? I want to be a
Oh.
part. I want to see what's going on over there. I want to be a part of that.
Those people look healthy and happy, and they're joyful, and whoops,
Healthy.
Yeah, I said healthy already, didn't I?
Yeah, and healthy.
Yeah, and healthy.
So that's my goal.
So let's be the example of what's possible.
Right.
Right? We have to be the example.
Starts in here first.
Starts here. Starts right
this
here.
Is where so I want you to think about this very carefully, because this is in fact the way it works.
I think you're preaching.
No, this is in fact the way it works. You look at every business on the planet. Guess what? That started from somewhere, and it usually started from a vision of some sort by someone.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what it is, right? Because it all works. And it started. And, no different than the Union of Humanity. It just started as a vision.
Right. That's right.
Right? And now there's an actual platform there.
Yeah. Which we have to grow, by the way.
And we need to grow.
Yeah. I mean, we are utilizing these other social media platforms to get our point across, right? As a way to reach you people, because that's where you are right now. But we need to get ourselves over to the Union of Humanity eventually. I mean, that needs to be where we're at, honestly.
So I'm going to put the domain name in,
because then we're not under the control of all these folks that are running all these social media platforms.
So, Pastor, if you would, I would love to see you there. Check it out. It's available for anyone on planet Earth. All right. It's a great place for people to join and be a part of in a secure private environment. And you know what? It's going to come to a point where if people want to connect with us, they'll have to do it there.
Yeah, we're eventually going to have to just make the move over there, and that's that. Put our money where our mouth is, so to speak. Thank you, Pastor. That's very kind of you to recognize that. Kevin comes from a good missionary family. We were just talking about that last night. Hi, Louise.
Hey, I'm looking forward to some bread.
Yeah. Louise, we're looking forward to getting some bread from you. Whoop, whoop. Sourdough, homemade sourdough bread. Whoop, whoop. We are in. So how far is Brian right now from Pakistan? Because it's just across the mountains, right?
I'm just trying to think.
Kevin's brother is in northern India right now.
I think he's actually in Mussoorie.
Yeah, they're in Mussoorie and Uttarakhand. He and Marla, so maybe we could connect them too, maybe, hey? Or something? Well, we'll talk to him first.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There is so much good. Yes, that's right, Louise. Totally good point. When you plant a seed, it grows. And seeds can be planted in actual physical ways, but it can actually be planted in our minds and in our hearts as well. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're kind of on a mission here, right? We're kind of on a mission. We admit it.
But we need help.
We need help. Spreading
and
the
I
word.
envision it, honestly, like in my meditations, I actually envision, like my meditations are usually very global in size. They really are.
Yeah.
And I see embracing the planet.
We're big
feel embracing.
We're big thinkers, big feelers. There's no question about that. We don't keep it to our own little backyard,
No.
We believe that all humans are connected and that all humans
are divine.
100%. Totally. We're all children of God, if you want to put it that way. We are. We're all children of God.
We're all here from source.
That's right. So
that's a similarity, is it not?
That's a pretty big similarity. I mean, there's no question about that. And I mean,
and we're all doing the best we can with what we have.
We are. And that's why we want to help bring more resources to people's minds and hearts. Because if we have more resources to work with, then we can make better decisions.
Right.
Then we can see more of the good, I think, in the world. Because I think it's easy, like we've said multiple times, it's easy for us to get caught up in the negative, what we don't have or don't want, right? And I just think that there's just so many better things that we could be focused on,
Well, I want to just sort of piggyback off Louisa's comment about planting a seed, it grows.
Mhm.
It grows in the right environment.
That's right. That's right. Because you could put a seed there and it just dries and withers away. Because that can happen.
But it
Yeah.
might not be in the right environment.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is that we are in charge of creating the right environment. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this is about a journey into truth.
Yeah.
And what we want instead.
It's interesting, Pastor, that you mentioned that. Actually, I want to mention we did watch a pretty decent movie last night. It's a brand new movie on Netflix, and it's called Mary. Was it called Mary? And it's about the story of Mary, which is the story of Jesus Christ's birth. And Anthony Hopkins was in it too. He plays such a good bad guy. He's such a good bad guy. Are we doing okay? Not being too loud? Okay. But
She's ready to kick us out.
Yeah.
Hi, Marjorie. How you doing?
Hi, Marjorie. We're at our friends right now.
Mhm.
And I just remember too that somebody's sleeping, so I was hoping we weren't being too loud. Sorry.
But she normally would be.
Stop. But anyway, yeah, the movie was pretty decent. I mean, it was kind of a slow. It was a story. It was a story unfolding, of Jesus Christ. It was the Immaculate Conception, right?
Yeah,
And
story.
it was a story of that, and then his birth and so forth. But it just, to me, it just reiterated the importance of all of us realizing that we're all human. Right. I agree with you, Marianne. We don't have Netflix either, but we're at Kevin's parents' place right now. And so they have Netflix. There's just so much good to focus on in this world. I really do believe that there's so much good. And I want us to do more of that. I really do. Mm-hmm. It feels good. It feels better in our hearts,
Which is why these little gatherings that we have here, we need to be focusing on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit of a task for you guys.
Oh, what?
I thought I was just going to come on here and listen and have me do stuff.
Just be a silent observer.
So almost 5 years ago now, I created a meditation. It's called Change the World, Change the Future Timeline Meditation.
Yeah, on YouTube.
There's a lot of concepts that are within that if you listen to, it might be a good place to start in terms of setting a foundation for what a potential new future can be for us.
Now, remember, this is 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, March 2025 was a long ways away, right? Because that was the actual destination date that we focused on for the meditation.
Reason for that. But
very specific reason. Yeah.
So if you go on to our, is it YouTube, right?
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to get it off YouTube right now and put it in the comments? I could do that.
We can, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go to playlist.
We'll find the link here, and then
yeah.
That way you guys have it.
Yep.
And playlists right there.
Kevin, that's very kind of you.
I know.
Yes, thank you for telling me where to go.
I'll tell you where to go.
Oh shoot! Sorry. Oops. Clicked the wrong one. No, I'll get it and I'll put it in the comments. X out of that. There it is right there. See, creating a new world visualization, powerful guided meditation. So what I'll do is I'll click on that and then I'll share it because then the whole playlist will share. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Kevin, I can handle it.
Sure.
I am with it, believe it or not. Where'd the
duck go?
Where'd the duck
go? Right there?
No.
Is it at the end here?
Must be. Is that it? StreamYard, yeah. Studio right there.
All right.
Okay. I know he says it with love. He's a good man. I mean, this was divine intervention how he and I met because we were living completely different provinces,
completely different lives.
Completely different lives when we met online.
Yeah. Done.
I am a little slow today. I apologize. My goodness.
Okay, I got it sorted.
Yeah.
So there's the link to there's only 2 videos. There's one's intro video and
Yeah.
the other is the actual
It's
meditation.
structural, kind of instructional. I mean,
But I encourage people to do it because
yeah,
I think that,
we'll update it too, right?
oh yes,
We'll update it.
I
Yeah.
think the some of the concepts and just sort of the visions, the idea of the vision coming through on that is a
Don't encourage him, Marianne.
just you wait. I'm doing video editing now. Whoever thought of that?
Oh, he's
So
loving
here's
it.
like a construction guy that's done metal fabrication and worked on friggin' cars, right? And factories and stuff like that, doing video editing right now.
I love it. I love that he's doing that.
It's actually quite fun.
It means I don't have to.
But for me, it's an act of creation, which is really fun.
And that's Kevin's. I believe that is your meditation, honestly,
totally.
being in an act of creation like that.
Yeah.
You're using the gifts that you were granted by God. So it's all good.
And even just having to learn stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So take a listen to that. I encourage people to do the meditation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think it's going to offer some ideas and some concepts to as a baseline.
Mhm.
And then maybe we can maybe start that as a baseline for our discussions on our webinar about what we want instead.
Yeah.
How about that?
So
Is that a deal? How's that for a deal?
So I do want to ask Pastor a question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Pastor, being that you're in Pakistan and we know that there's lots of stuff going on
Persecution
there,
and
lots
stuff,
of
yeah.
persecution and things like that, is there anything that you need? Is there anything you need that maybe you could let us know if we could be of assistance somehow? Like
Yeah,
our community, if our community
If
can be of
we need
assistance,
to help
or
send energy,
pray, if we need
yeah,
to like
any of that.
meditate on anything, like what's the best way that those of us little people over here in the West
or elsewhere,
or
whoever's listening to
elsewhere,
this,
wherever, because I mean people around the world listen to this podcast. So
Mhm.
if there's anything that we can do to help your situation in Pakistan, we would really appreciate you letting us know in the comments, because this is how we learn, you guys. We learn by being in community with one another, right? And
with other
communicating.
people from other parts of the
Yes,
planet.
absolutely. I mean, it doesn't diminish what we ourselves are going through where we are over here in North America, right? Those of us who are in North America, it doesn't diminish that. But the reality is that, you know, we have to get in touch with what's really going on in the rest of the world too.
The other thing too, though, I
Have to
think we really
understand.
have to start focusing on what's truly important.
Yeah.
And what's really, really actually important. And one of the most important things is our relationships.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, relationships intimately, or friends, or family, or
Yeah.
other like
Acquaintances.
acquaintance, even. Like it's about relationships, because that's really the energy that's the only energy you can take with you. You can't take money, you can't take your car, right?
Yeah.
You can't take your
Bank
freezer full of
accounts.
shit,
Your bank accounts.
right? You can't take any of that stuff with you.
Nope.
When you go. So maybe it's time for us to start focusing on what's truly important.
Yep.
And focusing on similarities, like how are we the same? How are we actually the same?
Yes, you're going to hear us repeat ourselves a lot, but that's what's important.
I did want to
learn.
do an initiative called the Similarity Project. Right? And Ava's like, no, we don't need another website. Well, I bought it anyway, but either way. But the Similarity Project, but how are we the same, folks? How are we the same?
It's true. It's true.
Because differences really don't matter. They just don't.
No.
They
I think when
actually don't.
differences matter is in our material side of our lives.
Oh, but he has a Jaguar and I wanted a Jaguar.
Mm.
Therefore, I'm going to envy him.
Mm.
Really?
Mm. Meanwhile, we're driving a 25-year-old vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's friggin' awesome. I love it. I got to test start it in the morning because it's so damn cold here.
yeah.
All right.
Every day we cross our fingers. Please let it start. Please let it start.
but it works.
It does.
You got to keep
It's a
it plugged in.
beast.
It's a beast.
Everywhere we go with our big truck, we get stared at.
People driving $100,000 trucks
Are
and they're
staring at our view, going, "Oh my!"
like, I know it's a piece of art. It's lovely.
All over
Right,
North
Gerald? You know it's
America,
a lovely
Central America, Mexico. We saw
Yeah.
everybody was just, yeah,
Way to tell them 40 miles to the gallon.
yeah.
No,
Not Kevin's vehicle.
well,
Kevin,
not quite at 40 miles to the gallon, but it'll do 1,000K out of a tank of fuel, which is kind of nice.
yes. Louise sharing,
You see
I
the
have
cow?
a cow.
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cows are very important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's got a black heater because you'll need one in Alberta.
Oh, it's got 2 block heaters, as a
2
matter
block
of fact.
heaters. Yeah.
It's a big diesel engine, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Marianne says we walk and talk and breathe and cry and get angry and happy and we hurt and bleed the same as everyone else.
Friggin' imagine that, eh?
Yes, we
Wowzers.
do. I guess that
Wowzers.
kind of makes us pretty much human.
Hmm.
That makes us human.
How are we the same?
Yeah.
So if we can bring if we can bring folks together,
Yeah.
and maybe this will be a little challenge for Pastor, right, or Pastor in Pakistan, is to see how many folks he can get encouraged to come and join the Union of Humanity.
Yes.
Because as this grows globally,
Yeah.
and it will, that's going to end up giving us a lot more resources
Yes.
in order to do more for humanity. Okay. And yes, we are
Wow.
the challenge here,
Yeah.
I will say, is how do we bridge gaps?
We're being invited to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we build bridges where there would be differences? Okay, how do we do that? That is our challenge, and it doesn't matter what ideology you come from, doesn't matter what faith, doesn't matter what country. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is how can we build bridges?
Yes.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And how can we build bridges that stand up to the wind in the right direction at the right speed to prevent the resonance from taking the bridge down?
Dun, dun, dun.
How do we do that? This is our challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, this is our challenge.
Of course, we're sensitive to the Christian people of
Uh-huh.
Pakistan.
We're sensitive to all faiths,
Yeah.
to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. We understand,
We-
though. We get it.
yes, we get it. We
Yeah.
100% get it.
Kevin grew up with a missionary family. So,
I actually grew up in Africa,
yeah.
right? So
Africa.
I've had a plethora of international experiences with multiple cultures and multiple everything else's.
Yeah.
And
Africa and India.
and India, yeah.
Yeah. With Christian missionaries. Yeah.
So I think it's important that we, at some point, maybe put our differences aside
Mhm.
and start really focusing on, because let's use this as an example.
This is the start.
Yeah, it is.
It's a start.
It's a start.
And this is an example. And this is, I guess, part of being human. I don't know if it is. It's definitely not a condition. We'll have that discussion maybe at some other point.
The Human Condition.
Don't get me going.
That's a big, thick book that we have.
Don't get me going. But think about this. So you have 2 people, and each one has experienced trauma. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No. No trauma.
So how do you quantify the level of and the effect of trauma? Let's just say it's the exact same thing. Yet one person is grabbed a hold of that and says, my trauma is more traumatic than your trauma. How the hell does that even work? So
That's what I meant when I said earlier. I don't want to diminish anybody's experience, right? Because
right, because
trauma is trauma is trauma, and everybody perceives it in the way that they perceive it, which always makes it worse than it usually really is. But I mean, that's just the facts. I mean, that's just how we process it, right?
But think about this in terms of the way we process these things and the way that we start to understand what divides us. Because if you have two people, let's say they each live on a different side of the fence, whether that fence is ideology, whether it's belief structure, whether it's a border,
Yeah.
whether it's familial lines or geographic, it doesn't matter. You got two people, but everybody has experienced trauma. So if I'm running around with trauma and I'm pointing my finger at people saying my trauma is worse than your trauma, what do you got to complain about? Yet the person I'm pointing the finger at saying, well, my trauma is just as bad.
Yeah.
Right? How come you're complaining about your trauma? Right? If that happened to me, I wouldn't care.
Oh yeah. Well, guess what?
Well, guess
this
what?
is what happened to me. Sorry.
Right? So let's think about this logically.
Yeah.
The bottom line is trauma is trauma.
Yeah.
And for us to judge ourselves and others, regardless of what the trauma is, we are jumping into the area of dividing.
Yeah.
And that's where we need to make the shift. And, you know, there's cultures, there's geographical regions, there's cities, towns, families, etc. There's religions, there's skin colors, there's
languages,
hairstyles, there's sports teams, right?
Sports teams divide people too.
Oh my
whole
goodness.
country sometimes. Yeah.
And think about this, is that how are we the same?
Yeah.
Everybody that's in that stadium watching two teams play, they're all sports fans.
You're referencing that for pastor, aren't you? Because cricket is isn't it cricket?
World Cup, man.
Yeah.
Oh my
soccer.
goodness, soccer.
True soccer.
Football,
That's right.
they call it over there.
Yes. Football. That's right. That's right.
So I think when we start having these discussions and actually bringing them into our awareness,
Yeah.
we can get above things. And that's, I think, where our psychology has to go, is we have to start getting above these baseline kind of divisive topics. Accept that we've all been traumatized, accept that we have our quote unquote differences.
Yep.
But when we get up, how do we start focusing on what makes us the same?
Yeah.
So I think part of that process is to come.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah.
We'll take that blessing. Thank you.
Yeah. When we start focusing on how we are the same, then we can bring together a vision for the future.
Yes.
That honors our similarities, but also respects our differences.
Because it truly isn't just about our vision of the future.
No.
Right?
It needs to be collective.
We need input.
Yeah.
We need input.
Yeah.
You know, so we would love for this to be a project that a whole bunch of people around the world are contributing that vision, you know, children, people of all ages.
And this is part of the vision for the Union of Humanity.
It is.
That's exactly why I called it what I called it.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter how we are different. It only matters how we are the same.
Yeah.
Right. And when we unify and come together with some common vision, and we can actually create and feel that vision for the future, guess what, folks?
We will be unstoppable.
Totally unstoppable.
We will be unstoppable. I believe that.
And it's interesting because here's a good question. And I brought this up at our talk we did there several weeks ago. Who has all the money on the planet? Let that question sink in. Who has all the money? And you know where I'm going with this because I'm asking it.
And you've already told it to us.
Have I?
Yeah.
The first thing
Okay.
that people it comes to people's mind,
The
oh,
elites.
the obsoletes, the elites have it. Well, the 1% has all 96% of all the wealth. No, they do not.
Are you sure about that?
They don't. They don't.
Yeah.
Right? We have all the money. And they friggin' know it. Right? Which also means we also have the power. And they friggin' know it.
Marianne, that's a whole other conversation.
Mhm.
If you're going to talk about
Yes.
money being an illusion, we get it.
So here's the thing.
Trust me, we do.
Is that
Yeah.
we're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to look at this as a transitional phase, and it would be awesome if I could manifest like that, and it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Those days are coming.
100% they are. And right now, we need frame of reference. I'm going to bet that you still need some rupees to buy eggs in Pakistan.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet that.
Yeah.
Unless you have the chicken.
Yeah.
Right. But then you still need to feed the chicken and do
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
But then you
right?
might be exchanging,
Well, it could be exchanging.
bartering,
Right. And that's
right?
fine.
There's bartering networks.
Yeah, that's
for
possible
sure.
too.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think that we need to look at this as a transitional kind of
We're in transition.
time
Yeah, absolutely. So let's
So-
embrace the transition.
for sure.
Let's not resist
here's-
it. Let's embrace it.
Here's the ultimate question: transitioning from to what?
That's the thing.
What are we transitioning to?
We got to create that vision.
And some people will call it restoration,
Okay.
but are we restoring what?
I don't want to restore.
What are we
honestly.
restoring?
I want to recreate.
Why don't we just create?
Let's create something new.
Just create new.
I don't think we've ever been here before. Actually, I
haven't.
know we haven't. So it's going to have to be a new creation. It's not going to be a restoration. Restoring, maybe there's little elements of restoring in there.
Well, I mean,
somewhere, but
like we don't
yeah,
we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater
no.
because I mean, like technology and stuff. A lot of
There are good
stuff
people.
that's out there we can repurpose.
And even the people.
Because remember the analogy of the firearm, right? Sitting on the thing, it's about the intention behind the holder of that item. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
Just a thing. Like language is just a thing. The
Mhm.
firearm's just a thing. The vehicle's just a thing. Can I kill someone with the vehicle? 100%. Can I drive to the store to get groceries? 100%.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's about the intention. So let's shift our intention. Let's figure out what we can use and what we need to adjust. And
Mhm. Okay, so Marianne,
oh, here's a good one.
I refuse to be a slave to this tyrannical government. Okay. So what do you want instead?
Mhm.
So flip that around. This is what we need to do, guys. We need to be mindful of the language that we're using, of the words that we, hold in our mind. So I refuse to be a slave to this tyrannical system, tyrannical government. What are you focused on? Being a slave, the tyranny of the government, right? So flip it around, turn it on its head right now in your mind. Then what do you want instead? Say that to yourself. What do I want instead? If I don't want to be a slave to a tyrannical government,
What's the opposite?
what's the opposite of that? What do I want instead? That's what you need to focus on.
That's the focus.
That's where the focus needs to be. Okay, you made your declaration,
Made
and
the
that's
statement.
great. You've made the statement.
Yeah.
That's great. Focus on being free.
Mm.
That's right. The opposite of that. Okay, this is
But
where
the-
we're talking about just switching it around,
Mhm.
right? Let's flip it around. And let's reuse that, or let's use better words. Let's use words let's use language that is more, yes, let the world be united. I agree. Freedom to control what I do in my life. Absolutely.
So here's where the discussion now starts, because every one of us that's watching this right now and is going to be watching this has definitely got a list of things that they're not happy with.
Mhm.
So your challenge now is to create the other list of what does freedom actually mean? What does it mean to you to be free?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
So
write it down.
this is your job between now and when we meet next.
So put a piece of paper out on the table and leave it there.
What
And every
does it
time you
mean
get a
to
little
you?
brain wave, just write it down.
Write it down.
What's freedom mean to me?
We will be setting
Personal
up a
freedom.
webinar, and we encourage everyone to be there because we have to come together to create this new vision for planet Earth.
Yeah. And we can't do it alone. Like we've been saying this for 5 years now, especially, but this isn't the Ava and Kevin show. I mean, it is, but it's not
Mhm.
because we're just sort of like, we just kicking the snowball off the mountain. Oh, I gotta stop hitting that microphone. Sorry. But we're just kicking the ball off the mountain. That's it. We need you guys to help keep going. Right. So please contribute to the whole, the whole picture. Right. I mean, we could sit here, no question, and we could come up with a whole vision for what we think is good for the future. But it's not just about us.
No, but that's just one contribution.
That's one contribution.
Right.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
So we're going to set the webinar up. Keep looking for those details.
The webinar link.
The webinar link. We're actually going to be, I'm in the process of creating a little promotional video for our course that we have
Coming up in
January.
Yeah.
So look for that. You'll see that. And
Kevin's having fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Creating.
It's my first go at it. So
yeah.
Like,
so
don't laugh when you see it.
Yeah, go easy on him when you do see it finally. But yes.
But I'll be doing some other things because it's actually quite easy and fun once you learn the tools and stuff. So
yeah. But again, this is us doing our part. This is what we're, this is where we can contribute and help to make a difference. So we need to be doing the work that we have been given, the training that we've been given. We have to be using it for the highest good of people. And for us, that's helping with personal transformation.
Yeah.
Right. So
because if you do not feel free inside, guess what? You ain't going to have it.
Yeah. You can go to rallies all you want and you can carry the signs and you can rah, rah, rah all you want. But if you don't feel free, truly free inside your heart, that's just, it's climbing up a really big rope.
You can climb up a rope. I guess if it's frozen, you can climb it. No, you can climb up a rope. I guess if it's hanging.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that's the tough way to do it, right? Like you can go out and just rah, 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 like we gotta save the world, and we gotta do.
No, and
but
there's a place for that.
There is. There's always a time
the issue
and place.
here is that we feel that with our skills and our ability to help people, we need to kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
And when we can help people feel free inside, that's going to provide more positive energy into the field.
Yeah. That's working at a frequency level.
That's right. An energy level.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it is. And that's where focused intention and pastoral prayer comes in, is when we have to feel the prayer. We have to feel it as though it's already happened.
We do. Yeah.
Okay. It's not a hope issue.
Yeah. It's not just saying words in our minds.
We have to
feel it. Right.
That's the missing link.
Yeah.
All right. That's the missing link.
Yeah.
So we need to feel it.
Yeah.
And if we feel it, but there's doubt attached to it, that's where we come in.
Yeah. We want to help people to eliminate those doubts.
Because if there's a doubt, that means there's limiting decisions lurking in the depths.
Yeah. In the background.
In the background.
That we can help people with. So we want to help people.
That's it.
Yeah. We got to transform this world. We got to create this new world. We do.
That's our purpose.
Yeah. So in order for us to do that, we're going to help people to transform their hearts, right? Their minds.
Yep.
So
okay.
Have we preached enough today, Kevin?
No, but this is an important conversation.
And absolutely.
It's a super important conversation because it doesn't really matter what your ideology is, what skin color you have, what hair color, style, team you like. None of that shit matters, man. What matters is how we come together.
Hmm.
And there's a sense of urgency here now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Without a
Because
question.
if they have their way, they're going to drag us into Third World War.
They've been
And
trying that for some
they've been
time.
trying it for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
They were even trying to do that back in 1990 something when that USS Liberty situation happened.
Wow, there's I'm
That's-
sure it's
There,
Anyway.
yeah. Yes, I agree, Louise. Freedom to drink raw milk and do what I want with it. I agree. You're not going to have to convince me. And I bet Pastor over in Pakistan, I bet they drink raw milk.
For sure they do.
Yep, they
100%.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, Louise. Have a very bright day, you guys. Thank you for being here. We
Okay,
want you.
so
we want you guys
you've
to
got
know
your
how much
homework.
we appreciate you.
Get busy.
Yes, every time you have a negative, we'll say a negative thought. Every time you have a negative thought, twist it around, right? Turn it around and make it positive, something you're focusing on. That's positive, okay?
Right, Gerald?
Yes.
100%. There it is.
Do it. Just do it. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Pakistan.
Yeah.
I am just,
And wherever else
I
you
feel
are on planet
honored,
Earth,
yes, I feel so honored, and
we are
I'm
very
glad
grateful for you, for everyone to be here.
we
today.
absolutely are. Thank you for playing a role in our
Mission.
right? And also your own for humanity.
Right.
Right? This is a much, much bigger thing than these two people right here
That's right.
and the people that are here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, are we done?
That's it.
It's Friday. Have a great weekend.
And look for the webinar stuff coming up.
So, when are we
Please.
going to do the next one then? Because we were going to do them on Tuesdays. So, do you want to do the next one next Tuesday? Because I mean, I know I couldn't do it on Tuesday this
so
week.
let's just say this. We will commit to doing one coffee time thing a week.
Yeah.
But we have to be max flex with regards to it being on a Tuesday or a Friday, as we've experienced this week.
Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
for understanding, you guys, by the way.
So
I
it's
mean,
just going to be a max flex sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
If
We understand
you know
that
when,
consistency
right? So
is
it's going to be
important.
about 10 o'clock
about 10 o'clock on
Eastern.
Tuesday.
on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And or Fridays.
Hopefully nothing happens.
And
Thank you, Pastor. Love
okay,
you too.
love you guys.
And if we haven't said it, if nobody has told you today that you are loved, we're telling you,
Yeah,
you are loved.
are.
We love you so much. We love all of you. And that is possible.
Yeah.
It is possible to love people that you don't even know personally,
Mhm.
right? Because I feel like I know you personally anyway. But yes, we love you too. We absolutely do.
Mhm.
We mean that. That's coming from my
And
heart. Can you see it?
That's the emotion that's going to shift this planet.
Love and compassion.
Love and compassion.
Yeah, true compassion.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Is
All
that
right.
it?
That's it.
Okay. So we'll see you guys Tuesday around 10
Yeah.
o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
And in
You've
the
got
morning,
your marching orders.
you have your marching orders. We know the government doesn't, Lori. We don't care what the government does or doesn't do. We just have to be in charge of what we do. So
Mhm.
love, love, love. Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
TTFN.
See you guys on Tuesday. Bye bye.